Yarn, yarn, yarn. It can bring you such great joy or bring you to the depths of despair, all within a very short space of time. As a knitter or crocheter, there's nothing more satisfying than when the last stitch is completed and you can look at what you made with a sense of pride at how well it turned out. On the other hand, there's nothing more disappointing than getting a project barely started, especially when you've been looking forward to and having nothing but problems from the start. It leaves you defeated and feeling like a failure, and most times it's not your fault, but the yarn you chose. In today's video, I want to share with you 4 yarns that I have successfully used on both my 22 and 46 needle Addi machine over and over again, and one that didn't work. Also, at the end, I'll share with you a tip that will help you get your bigger projects done in almost half the time. Now, the first yarn I want to talk about is the Lion brand Heartland yarn. This yarn has made me close to $2,000 this year at craft shows. It's a premium acrylic yarn that has an incredible sheen to it, giving it a rich look. The colors are attractive and vibrant, and it is amazingly soft as well. I used it to make winter gear to sell at craft shows, and they sold like wildfire, especially when I displayed them properly. Now let me throw in an additional tip for you. If you plan on selling your items, especially hats, mitts, scarves, and similar items at shows, have individual items displayed at eye level and make those ones demo products that people can try on. Encourage people to touch the products, especially when you use quality yarns like Lion brand Heartland, because they feel as great as they look, increasing your chance of selling them. Yes, there's a cost to making these demo products and displaying them, but in the long run, it's worth the increased sales you will get. Okay, now back to the Heartland yarn. This yarn is a 4-weight worsted yarn that comes in a 5-ounce or 142-gram ball with 251 yards or 230 meters of yardage. And it comes in 38 colors and is available at linebrand.com, Michaels, Joann, Walmart, and other stores. Now, number 2 yarn is Karen Cake's Latte Cakes yarn. Every time I went to Michael's, I would see these Karen cakes and almost drool over them. I'd pick up a ball and almost like want to hug it because they're so fuzzy and soft. I kept thinking that there was no way they would work in my machine because they are considered a 5-weight bulky yarn and would be too thick to go through. And I would put the ball back down. Now, one day I just couldn't resist it any longer, and I bought a ball just to see if it would work, preparing myself for disappointment. But guess what? It worked amazingly well on both of my machines. It's self-striping, as you can see in this blanket picture, which saves you a ton of time changing out yarns. And if you buy the balls matching the beginning colors, which I didn't do in this blanket because I didn't realize that they didn't all start at the same color when I bought them, you can make an incredible striped pattern. This yarn would also be amazing for hats, scarves, and sweaters as well. The best thing about this yarn is that it is pre-wound with even tension, so it comes off the ball easily, saving you tons of time pre-winding, especially on those bigger projects like blankets. The yarn is 58% acrylic and 42% nylon, and the balls are big, weighing 8.8 ounces or 250 grams, with a huge amount of yardage of 485 meters or 530 yards. One ball will make over 400 rows on my 46 needle machine. That's enough for 3 ladies' hats or 5 pairs of fingerless gloves or for 4 large headbands, also making it economical when making products to sell even at regular price, but even more so when you can get it on sale. Can I ask a favor of you? Can you boop the like and subscribe buttons for me and help tell YouTube how much you enjoy these videos? Your support of this channel helps me get monetized and will allow me financially to make even more videos for you to enjoy. Now, the third yarn is the Loops and Thread Petite Pearl. This is another yarn that surprised me. When I saw this chenille yarn in the new arrival section of Michael's this past fall, I was immediately drawn to it. When I was mainly crocheting blankets for the family, I used a lot of the Bernat blanket yarn. So when I got my knitting machine, I was very disappointed that it would not work in my Sentro or Addi knitting machines. When I looked at the label and realized that the Petite Pearl is a 4-weight yarn, some hope came into my heart, and I bought one ball to try it, and I fell in love with it, and it worked perfectly in my machine. There are a couple interesting things about working with this yarn that you need to know so you're not surprised. Unfortunately, I don't have time to cover them in this video, but if you watch the video shown to you at the end of this one, not only will you learn how to make a luxurious blanket out of this yarn, but how to work with a few idiosyncrasies of it as well. The link to the video will also be in the description below. The yarn comes in balls weighing 8.75 ounces or 250 grams and has a yardage of 491 meters or 537 yards. There is one thing to note. Recently I tried using it on my machine again and I was having problems with it, and I boiled it down to the fact that my needles and inner ring were worn. So if you have a well-used machine, you may want to try one ball first just to see if it works. I finally got the parts in to fix it, and we'll try it again once my hubby gets a chance to install them for me. Did you know that I have an Etsy store where I sell the patterns that I create? One of the best things about my circular knitting machine journey so far has been designing unique projects for you to enjoy, especially the blankets. You can check them out by going to rticrafts.etsy.com. Click the link in the description. Plus, if you use the code YouTubeThanks, you will get 25% off your order. Number 4 is the Lion Brand Pound of Love. In terms of generic acrylic yarn, this is one of my absolute favorite ones to use for so many reasons. First of all, it works incredibly well in any machine. I've never had a single issue with it. Second, it comes in a good, excellent range of colors. I would love to see them add in some more. Third, at least here in Canada, it is the cheapest by far per meter, making your blanket projects more reasonably priced. Fourth, it comes in a 1 pound, 454 gram ball with a whopping yardage of 932 meters or 1,020 yards. It is a 100% of premium acrylic, and it is machine washable and dryable. I cannot share with you enough how great this yarn is. Because it's premium acrylic, it's super soft as well. The one downfall is the colors are matte and they don't have a sheen to them. So this is not the greatest choice when it comes to making bulk items for sale like hats and mitts, because the colors do not stand out. But if you're making charity items, this yarn will allow you to make many items inexpensively. One of these days, I plan on doing a video on how many things you can make from one ball of this yarn. Are you a Facebook group person? If you are, I am the admin on a great group where you can come show off your projects, ask questions, and get new project ideas. Just go to Facebook and search for Passion for Circular Knitting Machines, or click the link in the description below. Now, the 5th yarn, Red Heart Comfort Yarn. Unfortunately, this yarn is extremely difficult to work with, and I have never been able to successfully complete even a hat with it. It dropped and tucked stitches all over the place, so many that it was unfixable. Now, if you go in many of the Facebook groups, you will see people tell you how to get it to work in your machine. But to be honest, by the time you buy the additional things you need to make this yarn work, you're not saving any money, and you can buy better yarns for the same price. Plus, Red Heart yarn does not have a nice feel to it. It's rough, and, in my opinion, if you're making projects to sell or give away, there are much better yarns for the same price. Now, I have tried a few of the Red Heart yarns, and the only one so far that I have gotten to work in my machine is the Roll With It Sparkle. Now for the tip I promised you. Did you know that you can use a drill or rechargeable screwdriver and a special attachment to crank your machine? After the first week or so of spending hours hand cranking out projects, I was in a lot of pain because I have issues with my back, neck, and shoulders. The chiropractor had to do a lot of work on me to get everything loosened up and back in place again. He suggested not using my machine so much, but to be honest, I was loving it. My husband asked if there was any other way to do it, and after some research, I found out about the drill attachment. And he bought them for me, and they have been a godsend. The only bad part about this is that I am doing so many projects a whole lot faster that I wear machines out. So now I keep spare parts on hand to replace it as needed, but the joy of making and designing projects is so much fun, and my husband loves how happy it makes me and supports me in it. Don't forget to check out this next video where I show you how to make a gorgeous blanket out of the Petite Pearl yarn. Plus, it comes with a free worksheet and pattern to make it any size you want.